We're going to pick up with week 8 material. There's a lot of overlap between the week 8 and week 9 material, so I may kind of bounce back and forth a little bit between the two lists. So if you're looking at your week 8 list of structures and it's not on there, flip over to the next page of the week 9 and it will be there. So we're going to start with the arteries of the pelvis. Up here at approximately the L4 level, the descending aorta or abdominal aorta splits into a left and a right common iliac. Then what I've done to be able to demonstrate the arteries in the pelvis, I've bisected the pelvis, and as the common iliac makes its way down into the pelvis, it splits into an external iliac, which eventually becomes the femoral artery, and an internal iliac, which makes multiple branches down in the pelvis and down into the perineum, the area between the legs behind the genitalia. Now, before we start with this, most people are different, slightly different with the way these arteries run, even from one side of the body to the other. So with that said, I'm only going to go through the major branches, and you're only responsible for the major branches because of that. So right here, coming out of the bifurcation, where the descending aorta becomes the common left and right common iliac, we have the middle sacral artery. Then the common iliac again becomes the external and the internal iliac. Then the internal iliac will give us the superior gluteal artery, which exits the pelvis just above the piriformis, remember from second quarter, and then will give us the lateral sacral artery, comes off of a common trunk. Then the internal iliac artery continues down and will give us the superior vesicular artery, which goes to the top of the bladder. Then running just below that, we have the uterine artery goes to the uterus. And then behind the superior vesicular artery, right there, we have the obturator artery, which exits the pelvis through the obturator canal and goes down and supplies the medial portion of the thigh. Then we continue down, and here we have the inferior vesicular artery goes to the bottom part of the bladder, as well as to sends a branch over to the vagina called the vaginal artery. Then this internal iliac artery continues down into the pelvis, gives us the inferior gluteal artery right here, right over here. Oh, shoot. There we go. And then we have the internal pudendal artery, which exits between the sacrotuberous and sacrospinous ligaments through Alcott's canal, accompanies the internal pudendal nerve.